demographic also has the highest rate of maternal mortality. If you would like to get your song reviewed, dear listener, there's the Filthy Capitalist option. As Sori says, 125 gets you straight to the head of the line. You don't have to be a part of the alliance. You don't have to be part of the group.
Wait a minute.
And the biggest thing is you don't have to wait. You hop, skip, and jump right in front of everybody. 125 gets you there. You do that 3 times, and you get mashed down to the $75 rate for perpetuity.
Yes!
Also, there is a band review option. So if you've got a band and you're trying to get your band some exposure, hit me up at sori@gmail.com, and I'll show you the details about how to pull that off.
You can also jump on Patreon, and there is a option on the tiers to be able to get your band reviewed. Yep. Obviously, we can't lie to you, so we can't guarantee a positive review. Get what you get.
It's just rubbish.
Rubbish. That's British for garbage.
My favorite is the community option. $1 at the gate gets you in at Patreon. You get to join an alliance. The alliance joins their points together, and that helps determine what songs that we do.
The alliances hang out on Discord.
Message me on Patreon to get the link.
And they do all kinds of other cool things. They do Minecraft, Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah. It's really a community within the community. Anybody can go in the village, facebook.com/Sori. There's 160,000+ people on the channel. What's cool about the Discord is that it offers a real opportunity for community connection, friendship, that type of thing.
And it's on Discord, so if you're not a Facebook person, it's for you.
You start off at $1.
Right.
Plus you get exclusives. Sori and I are working on a song. So the first 15 seconds of that was on Patreon. Also, at $15 tier and above, when we actually debut the video, they're going to be there live with us. There you are, dear listener.
Buy our merch.
Buy our merch indeed.
A child shall lead them. We're feeling a little heavy because of the happenings in Texas, which I'm sure you guys have heard about.
Hey guys, check this out. So we have somebody, speaking of Patreon, I don't know if is this the picture? Is this the thing you showed on Patreon? No? Yes?
Well, I mean, I put multiple things on Patreon. That was one of them.
Is this? Oh, yeah, this is the one. Okay, so I want to show you guys. If you're on Patreon, this is on the page. But I guess it was a song. It was actually a song on a DJ stream that inspired this, right? Or the picture.
You know the songs in the Key of Real Life stream, the last one.
The last stream that we did.
It was so heavy, and like seeing that little boy or little girl folded over with the vulture, and like just talking about what people can do and what we can do. I thought, you know what? We have a lot of we already have 3 kids that we support through this program.
When we say we're talking about our patrons,
right?
all of us together as in the village.
But I was like, you know what? Like, there's been a lot of people that have been with us. Like, we're consistent enough that I think that we could add another child. And so it was crazy because I was already thinking about it, and then I was scrolling through Facebook, and that other picture that was there, it said that like she was on. It was another one I had sent to you.
Yeah, your mic is off.
Oh yeah,
as usual.
It's on that side. Hold on.
Hold on, let me see if your mic is registering on the chart.
Okay. Can you guys
say something?
Hello?
Yeah,
hello.
You're good.
Okay, so we were doing the keys in the
It's the stream we did yesterday,
yeah,
right?
it was yesterday's stream.
Songs in the Key of Life.
Of real life, yeah. And I was like, it was a lot of heavy stuff that we were, going over. But like I was just saying before, I don't know what you guys heard because the mic was whatever. But our patrons have been like, we have so many people that have been very consistent with just like, running with us on Patreon that I was like, okay, we as, us and patrons, and all the DJ stream people, all that money kind of goes all together. And we have already 3 kids that we all support overseas. And so I was considering like getting another one. And then as I was scrolling through Facebook, I saw like this little girl was on a waiting list for a really long time. and she is in an area that's like heavily, like there's a lot of AIDS over there, and because money was so scarce and everything, it was likely that she would end up getting trafficked, and then obviously if she did, with AIDS being so ubiquitous, she probably wouldn't, you know, survive. So we as a village, this is now our little baby. So this is like, I think, child number 4 for all of us.
Yeah, and guys, Jesus said, when you give, don't let your right hand know what your left hand is doing. And he also said, do your works before men so that they can glorify your Father in heaven. So it's always a conflict between, like, we don't want to share what we're doing because of that principle. But at the same time, it's like the way that our finances are structured, it's all communal.
Yeah.
So it's not like we're the only ones doing it. Every single patron, every single DJ stream, all of us did this. So it's not right to not let you guys know you guys are literally changing the world. And I want to make it clear that is not the sole purpose of our Patreon. Another reason I don't like doing this stuff, because I don't want it to be a Patreon commercial. So this is not the sole reason we're doing this. And quite frankly, we probably need to look at the numbers again probably next month and see if we can't do more. So I don't want people to think that we're like these generous people, because this is everybody in the village is doing this, no matter what you believe about anything or what you don't believe. All of us are doing this. We just felt like we wanted to share some good news. Give me a second. Let's echo anyway. Shit. That you're doing something positive, that's really tangible, that's really helping people in the world. Obviously it's not a good day if you love kids.
Yeah. The going on in Texas is pretty painful.
So there you go. We've got that. We've done that, and you rescued this girl. She probably would have been trafficked, and there's a lot of AIDS, especially in the African continent, obviously. So thank you guys so much for that. And again, this is not a Patreon commercial, and it's not us trying to pretend like that's all we're doing with our money. Like I said, we're not really big generous people. We could be doing more, and we're gonna have to look into that to see what more we could do. And we also have some moms that are in trouble that we've been able to help as well. So once in a while we'll try to give you guys updates on the people that we're helping, to try to balance out some of this fucked up shit that we keep hearing about in the news, man. So
contribution, and also, you know, to my knowledge, Songs in the Key of Real Life was Middle Earth and Mojo working together. And so shout out to you guys for obviously, like, timing is everything, right? So the stream happened, and then that came across my feed, and that little girl was the first one on the list that she'd been waiting the longest. So I scooped her right up, and that wouldn't have happened.
Yeah, that was kind of one of our strategies, is that it's heartbreaking, because it shows these lists of these kids, and then you see these kids, they've been waiting and they get passed up, and it's just you wish you could take them all, So we try to get the kids that's been waiting the longest on the list. Obviously, if it's a cute little baby, everybody's going to be like, let's help this baby. But there's a lot of 9-year-olds. Like the first kid we had is like 12. He's 13 now. Um. All right. All right. Okay. We do have a job to
I
do.
will say though, it is tough because when you sign up to take care of one child, then like when you confirm your payment, it says like, hey, there's X amount more kids still waiting for help in that same area. And so like you want to just like just keep clicking add another kid. I don't know, like you said, maybe next month we can reassess and do more. But we were looking into a lot of different organizations and stuff to see like they show you how much like your contribution goes, how like the percentage that goes directly to the child over and against what percentage goes to line the pockets of the the CEOs or whatever. And
they had
this is Compassion International that we are doing this through, and they had like the best numbers far as what rating. Percentage is going directly to the child. So
yeah.
So rest assured, we've done our homework.
And again, this is not a Vin and Sorry thing. This is all of us. I just wanted to let you guys know, if you've ever bought a song, if you've ever been in an alliance, if you Patreon, PayPal, if you ever had a shirt, whatever it is, you definitely had a part in this. This is all of us. Like, thank you guys for being so like, oh, we respect you, and we respect you guys and love you guys. But I really want you guys to understand, this is not us being generous. This is all of us as a community, putting our money where our mouth is, and doing something good in the world, So, thank you guys so much. All right.
But we've got music on the lineup.
I'll just say, man, the metal community, people could say what they want about us, but I don't know, man. To me, you guys are some of the best of humanity. Other people like this, I think it's a real beautiful thing. So I love the metal community, and I love you guys, and hopefully we can all get through this. I'm sorry for I'm trying to look away from the situation as much as I can, but
it hurts though.
The kids' cousins came over, and it was like, they're all elementary school kids. It's a problem. They're all dirty, running around in the, and I bought them those drinks, and they all came to the car, and they were all asking nicely, and they're all elementary school kids, man. That's the thing. Like, all these parents getting a horrible phone call.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, it's so bad, man.
That is a wound that will never heal. Holy.
All right. Shit, I get through this. All right.
Well, we've got Metal and True Cult is up first.
Yep.
So, prepare yourselves for Wolves in the Throne Room, Masters of Rain and Storm. This song represents True Cult's choice of Best Album of 2021. So basically these four alliances got together that we're doing tonight. We've got the True Cult, we've got Epic Underground, Anarchy 99, and Extreme Underground. The leader of the True Cult is Neil. Shout out to Neil.
Gang, shout out to Neil.
This song represents True Cult's choice of Best Album of 2021. Wolves in the Throne Room are an American atmospheric black metal band.
Where is that on Trello?
Click that Trello button, and then, because this is not the alliances. So you click Trello, and then see the alliance picks board. There you go.
All right. You download. I gotta get myself together.
Oh, okay.
I'll be back. I promise.
Yep. You didn't download anything? Okay. No worries. All right, you guys. But seriously, Vinny was playing his Madden last night, and I found that little girl, and I'm like, you know what? I friggin' love our village. Like, I love that we're able to do this because, of the channel, and I don't know. I'm looking forward to next month possibly adding another kid. But we'll let you guys know. It will post it on Patreon if we do. Oh, great. The link is not downloading. Okay, hold on a second. Let's see. But that's friggin' painful, man. I tried to use this thing and it wouldn't do it.
I'll get it. It's been acting all weird.
I'm gonna try it again on that one.
All right. The link.
Yeah, but that's not helping.
All right. Is this the official video? Yep. That's okay. That's okay. Talk to the people.
I'm pulling up that stream.
All right, guys. So the first one is, didn't we see Wolves in the Throne Room live?
I think we did.
That was at the Behemoth concert, right?
I think we did. Wait a minute. Why? Are we live on the right channel?
I think so.
Let me refresh this. Oh, there it is.
We
yeah.
should be,
I'm
yeah.
sorry. Okay, I need to refresh. That was the
Yeah,
issue.
see right there. He said, I think they saw Wolves live with Behemoth. Yeah,
Yep.
we did.
Okay.
Is...
I know it was Behemoth for sure. Yeah, we definitely saw it. I'm pretty sure that's the show, yeah.
We're going to have to do the same thing we did yesterday with that other thing.
Seriously?
Yeah, I think maybe it's like official videos or something. I'm not sure. Is this them?
I don't know. The other thing is you could try the other downloader we used to use.
Yeah.
Because maybe that one will work. Oh, you're going to see Flogging Molly and then Electric Six in June
Flogging
sometime.
Molly is the name of the band?
Yeah. Oh, jeez, Melvin.
I think I got it. Masters of Rain and Storm, is that it?
DC, so, wait a minute. It's supposed to be Masters of Rain and Storm, yeah.
Yeah.
So when I first announced the kid that we all have, I was like, so we all have another kid. BC's like, I don't want any kids. Oh man.
BC's my guy.
I wonder how many villagers will get to meet at some point.
I definitely want to meet Kel.
Oh, nice,
in
Archero.
real
Yeah,
life.
that's definitely gonna happen.
Kellandros, Archero is another one. We already got to meet DJ AT. That was pretty cool. I got that off my bucket list.
Yep.
And Peter. Peter's a big one.
Yeah. Kel had tickets to see Testament, Exodus, Death Angel, but I had another bout with COVID, so I had to drop out. Oh, that sucks.
Oh, that's so bad.
Yeah,
Oh,
negative
man.
vibes. Oh my god. Archero. Yes, shout out. I thought you said horny, not homie. I was like, what is happening here?
Archero said that? My Archero?
No, he said I met one villager. Shout out to my homie,
Oh.
Cregan.
Oh, I thought.
I was like, whoa, you guys, okay.
I was like, what?
Yeah. Perk says, hey, what's up? It's rare for me to particularly,
Okay, guys, show me. Let me know if you can see.
Oh, really, Flad? You were floored yesterday with septic flash?
Let me know if I can. Oh, really? Can you guys see that? And then let me know if you can. If you heard that. So type 22 if you see and hear. If you saw and heard that clip.
I think they did.
Yeah.
So I just played it.
And the video really isn't like
Yep, can see
playing,
and
so
hear.
we can be basically full screen. Okay, so we'll do it that way on this one, okay? Okay, guys, here we go. Wolves in the Throne Room. The name of this song, you're going to have to pull the lyrics up there. I'm not going to be able to do it.
Yep.
The name of this song is
Masters
of Rain and Storm.
Storm.
I really want to be able to follow the lyrics, though, so once you get those up, I'll start it. And this is for this was a true cult selection.
And do you want me to send it to you? They're very short.
Yeah, send it to me. Por favor. All right, guys, here we go. True Cult, Masters of Rain and Storm from the band Wolves in the Throne Room, which we saw live with Behemoth. All right, guys. Here we go. Right from the beginning. Go. Remember this. Sounds like that Metallica, Wherever I May Roam. so glad I have these. There's so many layers that you'll miss. How did you not like the drumming on this? You remembered this at the show, right? You remember this song at the show? Mm-hmm. You remember this song at the show? Mm-hmm. My tremolo shit. Oh, this is good. Good balance of the metal with the synth. Woo!
Wow.
Every
Typical
28
true cult
seconds,
style.
new business
When it
gets its
started, I
first
was
sale.
like,
there you go, guys. Every 28 seconds, a new business gets its first sale.
I was like, at first, and then as it progressed, like, somebody, I think it was Negative Vibes, was like, oh, I like the multi-layering, and I was like, wait, and then I stopped, and then I could hear it. It almost sounded like female vocals, but I don't know what it was that was going,
They do
really
have
high.
They do have a girl in the band.
So then it probably was
remember
her
that?
vocals going up.
She was on keys, I think. I think she was like doing like a Lindsay type of
Okay.
role with the band. So maybe she was doing some
Beautiful.
you know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
you know. But they had here okay, so
We're
I don't
talking
know
about the seasons.
I don't know
Winter
if this
giving way to summer.
yeah, I thought winter giving way to spring.
Spring, yeah.
Which is really interesting because that's what I got from the song too, that they were talking about winter giving way to spring. Okay, so yeah, that's what Magua. So Magua is my favorite black metal band.
Yeah.
The only, I don't want to say criticism because I love that band so much, but the only thing that I wish there was a little bit more of in Magua is they're great with the tremolo picking. I love the way they do melody, but like there's that they're missing like the chunk. And I know that they're black metal. Black metal traditionally is not like a chunk, especially what Magua is trying to do. But there were a couple parts when it was just like they had a couple death metal type riffs in there.
Yeah.
And it really balanced out a lot of the tremolo stuff, which is, you know, so that was the thing where I was like, that's something that I don't know if Magua is missing as much as Magua should incorporate more of it, which, you know, whatever. But that was an observation I had when sometimes they got a little bit chunky and a little bit death metal, and I really loved that. And then they still had the ability to kind of work with the synth stuff and harmonize it with the tremolo and then with the girls' vocals. Yeah, Dwayne goes, there were lyrics to this song? Yeah, there were lyrics to the song.
Believe it or not, I was able to pretty much follow the lyrics, and usually you're pointing it out to me, but I was able to tell this one. And I actually, okay, so the Cookie Monster vocals, not really my thing, but the way that they had them layered, I felt like it was, because, you know, if you've ever been in a wintry place, like when winter is at its thickest and its deepest point, it feels like it's never gonna give.
Yep.
And if you didn't know that spring would come, like I always think of it every winter when it's just so bitter and it's holding on so strong. And I think it's so crazy that this season will be able to it throws its fury at us with everything that it has, but when its time and its season is over, it has to go. And then spring ushers in the budding of the leaves and the trees and the warming of the weather and stuff. We're like right at the beginning of spring right now. And you know, like today it was hot during the day, and then it got so cold tonight when we were all outside.
I know.
I was
He
like,
had
what
Ryan
in the
in his
world?
little jacket.
Yeah. But yeah, so I just liked, okay, so like the kind of darker vocals to me was like the grip of the season, like when it talks about God of Thunder, wield your hammer, rainbow and storm cloud take passage, Lord of the wind and snow, draw your blade of ice and smite the mountain. Spirit of the thaw, your rushing streams brood the seeds, summon the ground to churn below. Quickening, destined to crack far beneath, rumbling, climbing alive. God of the mountain, don your green garb. Your fading silver rain has ended.
Yeah.
And I just thought it was such a beautiful way, such a poetic way of explaining, you know, winter giving way to spring. God of the mountain.
Yeah. Yeah, like I thought, you know, I saw God of Thunder. I'm like, okay, Thor, all right. That's where we're going. But then as I went down, I'm like, yeah, because usually, you're right though. I want to go back to that a little bit. Like, I saw the Chronicles of Narnia when I first came to this country, but it was the old one.
I didn't
The
know there
old
was
Lion
an
of Witch in the Wardrobe.
Yeah.
It's the old one, and it was the first scene. It was a snow scene. It had I think I pretty much started with the White Witch first, actually.
When you're saying the old one, are you saying
You know, there's ones that came out in the 2000s. There was one that came out in like the 80s.
Oh.
Yeah.
You're talking about the 80s one?
Yeah. When I first came to the country.
I didn't even know there was such a thing because we were not allowed to watch that, obviously.
And, you know, obviously it's this winter wonderland, you
Yeah.
know, in Narnia, but I'm from Jamaica. So I've never experienced this winter wonderland. So
yeah.
it was really, really fascinating because I found myself...
I think about you saying that all the time.
I found myself on the side of the White Witch only because...
Really?
The reason is because there's this big thing about snow. Like when you're in a Caribbean isle, Oh yeah, the BBC ones. That's the one. That's Kellandros, the BBC.
You see it here?
Yeah.
Is this it?
Probably, yeah. That woman right there. That one. Yeah, that was the White Witch. But I was always on the side of the White Witch because she was in the snow, and then as the story progressed, you find out she's the reason that it's snowy all the time. So I'm from Jamaica, so I'm like, yo, I'm wrong with this girl because, you know what I'm saying? Like she's you know what I'm saying? She's in the snow and she's making everything snowy. Remember, I'm from Jamaica. I've never seen snow. I've never seen it. It was only like a legend. Mm-hmm. And I'd be like, what is that? And they'd be like, well, it's like rain, okay? But it's like, and they had such a hard time describing. I'm like, man, y'all stop lying. No falling ice from the sky. You guys just be lying. I thought for the longest it was bullshit.
Really?
Yeah. Then I came to America and I asked my mom, and of course, if my mom said it, that was it. I said, Ma, it's no real. She's like, yes, baby, it's real. You go and see it. Go on.
Aww.
You know what I'm saying? So, whatever. So then I show up, and then there's the Vin dream to... Yes, it was my dream to be a bobsledding champion.
Stop it.
But, like... So anyway, the point is, I always felt bad because I love the White Witch, and then obviously, you know, it turned out she wasn't necessarily the nicest person. Mm-hmm. She was offering my man Edmund some Turkish delight. I'm like, all right, cool, we good. She wasn't good. She's a bad guy. But anyway, like they were talking about winter like it was like this worst thing in the world, and I was like, man, y'all crazy. But if you haven't been like in the Northeast, there's a point in winter where, especially if it's like a year when there's like really bad snow, when there will be like snow, but then under the snow is this horrible layer of ice. Oh gosh. Like it's at the peak of winter when it's the absolute worst.
Yeah.
There's this horrible layer of ice under the snow.
Yeah. And then this like little powdery snow goes on top of it. And
yeah. I learned the hard way.
Over.
I tore my arm.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah, because I thought it was like a slip and slide. So I went slipping and slide, and the ice just went, whoop! Big red trail in the ice there, yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, like, no joke, yeah.
Honestly, though, being older in Maine, I don't understand why anybody does that. It's seriously a hazard.
Look at Alden. Snow is fake news. That's what it was. I was like, y'all lying. Ain't no real snow. Stop lying. I mean, it sounds ridiculous. These frost particles in the sky, and they're all beautiful looking and shit. Like, really? We're in a wonderland.
Oh yeah, I would not believe that snowflakes look the way they look. Because when I first found that out in school, and they were like, "Oh, each one is an individual because God made an individual."
Yeah.
I was like, maybe, but I don't know.
No.
And so I took one of those black pieces of construction paper outside, and I was amazed. Like I was like, I'm gonna find two the same, and obviously you don't find two the same. And I was like, I was blown away at the snowflakes
for school for Orion and Reza, a little project. Yeah, but yeah. So I really like this song because it was very fascinating. Like, you know, the seasons being portrayed as different gods who are battling it out, and it's like, all right, like you won this round, and then that's how the seasons work. That was pretty cool. Shout out to Sadie in the house. Yeah. So I felt like this band look, there's so many bands out. You hear so many songs. I feel like this band would probably be one of my favorite bands if I was able to listen to them enough.
Oh.
I really, really do. But, you know, we kind of have a rule, like, I don't listen to anything new, so that as much as possible, you know, we can hear it from you guys.
Yeah.
But I hope more people ask for this band, because I really feel like this is probably going to be like one of my favorites. I love black metal. I love the tremolo picking. I don't know why, but when you put some tremolo in there with, doesn't even have to be intricate, you know, some nice, you know, rhythm lines to it, and then with, especially if you put some female vocals in there, I'm just a sucker for that. So there you go.
So I'm giving this one a 9, and to be, you know, when it first started, it was like a 5. So what?
See, Vin, if snow could be real, so could landing on the moon. Yeah.
Does something smell minty or something?
Probably. All right. What do you rate this song?
I gave it a 9.
All right, I give this a 9.2. I really, really, really like this song. I really like this song, and I like the few chunky parts that were in there. I really, really liked. So it's a 9.2 for me. What'd you give it?
I gave it a 9.
All right, guys, we're on the way back. Song number 2 on the way. Vin out.
Sorry, out.
Gone. Commercial time, I shall return. I'm Vin.
I'm sorry.
If you would like to get your song reviewed, dear listener, there's the Filthy Capitalist option. As Sori says, 125 gets you straight to the head of the line. You don't have to be a part of the alliance. You don't have to be part of the group.
Wait a minute.
And the biggest thing is you don't have to wait. You hop, skip, and jump right in front of everybody. 125 gets you there. You do that 3 times, and then get mashed down to the $75 rate for perpetuity.
Yes!
Also, there is a band review option. So if you've got a band and you're trying to get your band some exposure, hit me up at insori@gmail.com, and I'll show you the details about how to pull that off.
You can also jump on Patreon, and there is a option on the tiers to be able to get your band reviewed. Yep. Obviously, we can't lie to you, so we can't guarantee a positive review. Get what you get.
It's just rubbish.
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 That's British for garbage.
My favorite is a community option. $1 at the gate gets you in at Patreon. You get to join an alliance. The alliance joins their points together, and that helps determine what songs that we do.
The alliances hang out on Discord.
Message me on Patreon to get the link.
And they do all kinds of other cool things. They do Minecraft, Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah. It's really a community within the community. Anybody can go in the village, facebook.com/Vin and Sori. There's 160,000+ people on the channel. What's cool about the Discord is that it offers a real opportunity for community connection, friendship, that type of thing.
And it's on Discord, so if you're not a Facebook person, it's for you.
You start off at $1.
Right.
Plus you get exclusives. Sori and I are working on a song. So the first 15 seconds of that was on Patreon. Also, at $15 tier and above, when we actually debut the video, they're going to be there live with us. There you are, dear listener.
Buy our merch.
Buy our merch indeed. A child shall lead them.
To buy our merch. Okay.
Hey everybody. We got some metal for you on
This
fucking horrible day in the United States of America, where we gotta ask our elementary school teachers to fucking put their lives on the line for the kids that they love, that they're trying to give an education to. All right, guys. Here we go. This is the band. I think.
kind of looks like Dvne. It's DVNE.
DVN.
The name of the song is Towers. This is from the Epic Underground. If you're wondering what the Epic Underground is, it's an alliance. It's one of our alliances. If you want to know more about the alliances, watch the commercial. Okay. So the Epic Underground, this is Epic Underground's the winner of the Album of the Year tournament for 2021. Here's an excerpt from an article about the band. Scottish progressive post-metal quintet Dvne have been heavily influenced by Frank Herbert's work. Starting out as an instrumental three-piece, the band was trying to figure out what message they wanted to get across through their music. While coming up with the name, it felt like we were trying to tell a story. And the best kind of story with us would be something out of this world, explains singer Victor Vicart, recounting the band's beginnings. Drawn in by Frank Hertz, mysticism and mythos, the band took the name Dune before changing it to Dvne, D-V-N-E, to avoid any confusion with the book. Their first EP, Progenitor, fused a classic desert rock feel with elements of the sub-Saharan bands such as Tin Erwin. In 2017, the band released Asheran, a record that toyed with themes of ecology and nature, mirroring the cli-fi, which is climate fiction, principles within Dune, while retaining a unique narrative of their own. The band's latest LP, Etamen Ekna, takes it a step further. With Dune, you imagine the desert, the freeman, the spice, and you feel like you're somewhere in the Sahara, says Vicart. The album is a healthy mix of real-world symbolism and science fiction, drawing upon narratives and imagery steeped in Middle Eastern heritage and fantastical lineage. It's an album worthy of Dune's legacy.
Yes, and this thing is, I think we got it. All right. What's the title of the song?
Dvne. Towers.
Towers.
Epic Underground.
All right, from the
say?
Epic Underground, which focuses, according to Negative Vibes, on progressive metal, power metal, etc. So that's a commercial. So if you want to be in an alliance, little as $1, and you want to focus on progressive metal, power metal, etc., this is your crew. Okay, here we go, guys. Here's Dune Towers. Let's do it. Sounds like Nurgle. up for one last big one. That was Dune. What was the title of the song?
That one is called Towers.
Towers.
Yeah.
I have a running... Okay, so they said this was cli-fi. Is that what you call it? Climate fiction. That actually makes sense.
Yeah.
I think it's like...
I've never heard of it, but it just sounded funny to me.
It would be science fiction with climate change as probably like the central... Because we don't know what the ramifications of climate change are going to be like 100 years from now. So it's like it's all focused around theoretically what the world would look like in a climate change. Can you go back real quick? Because
what am I going back to?
Go back to the summary of the song real quick.
Right here.
Did they say specifically like this song was cli-fi, or was it the band itself?
The band in 2017, the band released Asheran, a record that toyed with themes of ecology and nature, mirroring the cli-fi climate fiction principles within Dune.
Okay. Takes a step further. With Dune, you imagine that desert, the Freeman, the spice. You kind of feel like you're somewhere in the Sahara. The album's a healthy mix of real-world symbolism and science fiction drawn upon narrative and imagery. Middle Eastern heritage, fantastical lineage. Okay. All right. That makes sense. Okay. So, I first I agree with Vlad, because that mid passage after hearing it, that middle part was crazy. It was really, really good, and that middle part didn't have a lot of lead in it, but the rhythm itself was kind of melodic and inspiring. It's hard to say. Lyrically, that's why I wanted to check on you, because I wanted to make sure that my I have an interpretive grid as to what I think he's saying.
Okay.
But before I talk about what he's saying, the guitar work was crazy, and like this.
Yeah.
For the first two songs, Kel, you got up and left, but Kel was like, "Holy shit!" Sori gave it a 9. I think that's the highest you've ever rated like a black metal song.
I know. Shout out to the True Cult for still sticking with me.
So, like, the guitar was so thick, and there were so many subtleties. I think Archero pointed this out. There was like some keyboard, but they were really subtle with it. I love atmosphere. It's kind of hard to tell. Like, I love atmospheric stuff, but I don't like when the keyboard is like completely dominant. I don't, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't like that, because at the end of the day, for me, metal is about the guitar. To me, it's about the guitar and the drum. So I don't like it when the synth is featuring, but if it's complementing and if you do it well, it goes really, really good. So
Okay.
So it's that part of the guitar part that I really like. It was mega layered, which I really really love. I love the lyrics, and I love. I was like the first two songs. I'm like, I'm really glad I have these headsets, because these headsets really get you, like, they parse out everything so you can hear it at the same time and blend it at the same time. It's really really good. So thank you to whoever got me. I think it was Zonia, got me these. Okay. What did you? What about you? I know you're not a big guitar person, because that's not your role in the band. You just care about the vocal. All you vocalists are all the same.
Yeah. I mean, when the song was first started, I was like, I don't know. And then I don't know. I kind of kept floating back and forth on how I felt about the song. And then I don't know which part it was. There was a part in there that all of a sudden I was really vibing with. I was like, okay, this is really getting good. And then I don't know. It didn't take super long, and the song was kind of over. So I don't hear. And again, I had some awesome headphones like Vin had, and they died on me, and so I'm stuck. These are children's ones. They're like $15 kids headphones. So I feel like I don't get that experience of what you're just talking about, because everything kind of blends together a lot.
Yeah.
I didn't hear the individual sound, but at the same time, like you say, I'm not a guitarist and all that, so I don't individualize everything even in my mind. It's so funny. I had a dream that you were playing the guitar, and we were like with a group of other people, and you were showing them the different stuff, and then they were like, "Sorry, you should play too." And I was like, this is me. C D G.
Hey, you could be a Christian radio star.
Yay. Okay, so what did you get from the lyrics?
March through ghost cities, march forth through ghost cities, enforced edification. The river of exile deserts the ashes, leaves lifeless debris. So just to me, it looks like the setting for some dystopian world where I had in my mind like Manhattan, because like Manhattan at night really is an experience. You guys, your church group went there or something?
I went with my friends.
Did you go to 42nd Street?
I think so.
At night, Times Square?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it was definitely in Times Square.
Yeah,
it was so bright. There was so many people.
If you want to talk about a testament to human achievement and human ascension, whether
everything's awake. It's completely alive.
Whether you want to look at it from a biblical perspective as human beings being in the image and dominating the earth, or you look at it evolutionary as far as like our ascent, Manhattan, it's amazing. It's a small, compact area with these massive buildings and lights, and there's so many things vying for your attention.
Yeah.
That it's just complete and total sensory overload.
Yeah.
So I imagined, okay, what if this was Manhattan, like a post-apocalyptic Manhattan type situation? Okay. March forth through ghost cities, enforced edification, the river of exiles deserts the ashes, leaving lifeless debris. A vista of footprints spread before us, a pilgrimage of indentured spirits. We cling to the promise of gifts we shall never receive for the unborn. So basically, because we've completely fucked up the earth, right?
Yeah.
So now the next generation, which we're supposed to pass the baton on to them and hand them this wonderful place called Earth, we cling to the promise of gifts we shall never receive for the unborn.
Jesus.
So it's like there's always a
this
promise.
Is what we'll give them.
There's always a promise to the next generation that we're gonna, at some point we're gonna hand the world off to them, right? At some point we're gonna hand the world off to the next generation. There's only one problem. We fucked up the environment so much that it's pretty, a vista of footprints spread before us, a pilgrimage of indentured spirits. Like, that's crazy. Like, indentured servitude is essentially slavery. Mm-hmm. As a matter of fact, the Bible makes no real distinction between being an indentured servant and a slave, which has massive ramifications on things like minimum wage and things like that, but I'm not going to go there. But you should... The minimum, the minimum wage we have right now is is ridiculous, and it's basically indentured servitude and slavery. And no, it's not as bad as the transatlantic slave trade, but it's still fucking slavery.
Yeah.
Somebody working for $7.25, they cannot survive in this society. Even now, the fight for 15, that was in 2016. The fight for 15 now really needs to be the fight for 1850. But again, the point is,
I agree.
When you've constructed a society like that, and hyper-capitalistic societies create these insane contrasts where in the same area you can have massive buildings and massively rich people, and you also have massively poor people who are the indentured slaves of both of those people.
Yeah.
And during the whole COVID situation, like, that was one of the things that Jimmy Dore is pulling his hair out over. COVID hurt a lot of people economically, but for the top 1%, it made them doubly and triply richer than they were before. Because now, as we're talking about Brandon, people can't afford to buy houses. Now all these rich people are buying the houses and then renting them so that you can kind of have a complete fiefdom. So if that continues, you're eventually going to get to a tipping point. One, with the environment, right?
Yeah.
And then two, with the fact that you're not going to get human beings to participate in a system like that without some sort of revolt. People are going to start eating the rich, or whatever you want to call it. Mm-hmm. And because of that, you end up in this crazy hellscape. So we cling to the promise of gifts we shall never receive for the unborn. So now everybody that's beneath that, they're just working. The environment's ruined. So you're going to have nothing to pass on to your kids. So you're basically breaking the promise to the next generation, because the way it's supposed to work is that you accumulate capital, land, whatever. You work, and then you pass that off, and now the next generation is starting ahead. Mm-hmm. They accumulate, and then but because of what we're doing to the planet and our economic systems and the desire for always getting bigger, whatever, now there's no future for these people. The average American, I was reading Forbes a couple of years ago, dies in like $18,000 of debt.
Oh, easily.
So it's that promise for the future.
Minimum.
Forget it.
And a big, huge portion of that is because of Medicare for all. We need Medicare for all. If we had that, so many people would not be in that situation.
Yeah, you know what else Medicare for all would do? Maybe we could get some mental help for these fucking people who are going out there killing people randomly out of nowhere. Mm-hmm. That would be great if we could get these people the mental health they need. Mm-hmm.
Especially
so that we don't
now.
have to call our teachers to be.
Especially now, because like there's a whole generation of kids that were at a weird point to have to go through COVID. And a lot of mental illnesses. Isn't this the second 18-year-old that's happened within a short span of time? Like, that means that they were like 16 when COVID was hitting, 15 and a half. Now they're, you know what I mean? Like, right at that tipping point in your teen years. And it's like, oh, man. Try to get an appointment for any of that stuff. If you need an appointment, they book out 6 to 8 months. I was talking to one girl. She said that she couldn't get an appointment. They were booking out 6 to 8 months just to be able to see somebody for counseling. And they said that because I don't know why COVID would change that. Like, can't you just do virtual? Like, why would that change something?
I don't know.
That's even if the person has insurance or is able to even afford going to see somebody. It's really terrible.
In Dust in Blood, Colossus. See, dust I would say is like the earth ruined, and then blood. Yeah,
that's exactly what I got from it. Yeah.
Colossus stones birth, generations of labor ignite, distance rays off light. Gold forged and gleaming ascending, we dig out mountains to the sky flourishing. So this is just like the human ascent, which is good, but it's imbalanced, so it's creating all this destruction in the world.
We dig out mountains.
Well, that's how you get the ore and the gold and you got to dig in there. And there's a balance between us exercising dominion over the earth.
Yep.
And simultaneously respecting the fact that the earth is our home.
Well, I think that, like, you know, when there's you pull something out and then you plant another tree. Like, for all the trees that we're cutting down, we're replanting, you know, when they're replanting. I think that stuff like that has to happen. Like, you have to replenish what you're taking. And, you know, back in, you know, Jewish, I guess it would be Jewish, they would let the land rest.
Yeah.
I don't think that we let our land rest anymore. It's just like produce. And, you know, this maybe seeming a little off topic, but, you know, we went to the store because Vinny wanted to have like a whole chicken for dinner, and usually I get like Purdue or whatever because it's whatever's the most. I'm looking for whatever's the least expensive. Well, they were completely sold out. The shelves were empty, and the only thing that was there was a free range one. And I pointed out to him, I'm like, look at the difference between that chicken and the ones we usually buy, and it really makes me so sad to like see that we do that to those birds. Like, obviously it was leaner and taller, where the other one was just short, and like they're so short and fat that apparently they can hardly even stand because they don't let them move around. So
there's a real ethical issue that I've been avoiding.
So have I.
With that, because obviously I believe that we are ontologically superior. I believe there's an almost an infinite gap of value between a human being and an animal.
Yeah.
But I can't escape from the fact that there are a couple times in the Bible where God says, I'm going to fuck you up because of the way you're treating these animals. You know what I'm saying? Mm. So it's like, you cannot ignore that. Just because we're more valuable doesn't mean they don't have any value. And some of the shit that some of these vegan animal rights people, like, you know, if you're on the right or you're Christian, like, we're supposed to pretend they're crazy. And some of them are crazy. But some of them have really solid ethical, moral arguments that, to be honest with you, I haven't really engaged with. But go ahead.
I avoid it because I know enough that I have to just completely avoid it. And the reason that I avoid it is because we don't make enough money to be able to buy the stuff that's free range all the time. I mean, right now as it is, I have to buy 5 dozen eggs for our family, like once a week. That's
it's $12 now. It used to be $7.
It used to be $7. Now it's $12 for that.
I said, holy shit, that's almost twice the price.
Between all the eggs that everybody eats and the baking and all the different stuff, like, we go through eggs like crazy. And when I look at, like, obviously when I crack the egg in the pan and it's like more of a pale color yolk, but I buy the other ones sometimes and it's like this deep orange, and I'm like, friggin', they treated those animals better, and the product is better that I'm feeding my family. Like, I feel so much better with cooking with those type of products, but it's so expensive. You can't buy a little bottle of vanilla extract without paying $15 for it. It's crazy. So I just think that
this inflation is insane. I mean, those eggs are almost twice the price now.
I know.
I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, and I sent the picture to you, like, when I left the grocery store, like, there was so little in my cart, and it was $150. I snapped a picture and sent it to you. I was like, $142, Vin.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Whoever is righteous has regard for the life of his beast, but the mercy of the wicked is cruel. And the fact of the matter is, it's a documented fact that young people, like, that's a major warning sign of, like, a school shooter. Like, honestly, like, somebody who's just randomly terrible to animals, that's a bad sign. Okay.
There was this guy that, you know how they always say, like, well, I don't know, you hear both. They'll say, like, it's the quiet ones you have to look out for. Yeah. But then at the same time, like, I always heard, like, if you find a nice quiet guy, you know, that'll be good for you, whatever. Well, there was this guy that was very quiet, and he seemed nice enough or whatever. And I was watching him and I was like, well, you know, I guess maybe I could consider. I always felt like it was just it's a crapshoot with all these people. And anyway, so I was like going to consider possibly. I was watching this guy though, and he was over by this cat. He was petting the cat. I was like, oh, and he's good to animals. Well, the cat scratched him, and like he like shoved that cat into the corner when the cat did it, like very aggressively. I was like, change of plans. Nope. I'm like, that cat doesn't even know who you are, and you're just invading its space, and the cat's supposed to do what? Let you with your white privilege. Anyway, go ahead.
Shout out to the big homie, Will. It's his first.
Oh my gosh, Sadie.
It's his first one.
This is baby number 7. I have no space nor time for chickens. Can you imagine?
Yet we're gonna get a cat.
Yeah, but that's different. The cat takes care of itself. My sister was literally telling, because my sister has chickens, and she's like, she got somewhere, and she's like, her daughter was like, there's poop all down my dress. Chicken poop, because the chickens, they just friggin' poop all over the yard. At least the cat's gonna go in the litter box. So she's like, I told her, go roll in the grass. I don't have time to take care of that.
I really like this line right here. Brick by stone, by bold libation, ziggurats, gilded. I'm assuming this meant gilded. Is it gilded?
Gilded is what mine says.
Gilded ossuary told in grand sepulchre. Basically.
Grand sepulchre.
Basically.
Whoa, that's a pretty crazy. Okay, yeah, explain that.
So ziggurat is a temple in the ancient Near East, which is where he got the Middle Eastern stuff from. Remember they said there's like a Middle Eastern combined with the Cli-Fi? So. Yeah. A ziggurat was a tower/temple. Most scholars believe, and I agree with them, that the Tower of Babel or Babel, where they said, we're going to reach up to heaven, was actually a ziggurat. And a ziggurat was a temple structure, and the idea was that you were trying to replicate a mountain because the gods all hung out on the mountains, on the high places. Especially in the Bible, you hear high places, high place at. So it was kind of a man-made constructed mountain, but at the tip of the ziggurat, you were then interfacing with the gods, basically. And so if they're going on the biblical angle, it works really nicely with the theme of this song, because it's talking about human ingenuity gone awry. Yeah. Basically, human beings coming together to create these ingenious moments of technology that are great in isolation, but because the people doing it have bad motives, it becomes this horrible thing. So you go from almost this religious dedication to doing more and building higher, which is how I interpret brick by stone by bold libation, to it turns into a ziggurat, but then it becomes an ossuary, and ossuary is what was part of the burial rituals, like especially during the time of Christ. And then it turns into a grand sepulchre. So if you think about like 9/11, where you had this great building and this great monument to American whatever, it becomes a giant, basically, tombstone, basically. So I just thought it was a really cool way to talk about human ingenuity, what it's doing to the planet, how we're inevitably dooming ourselves, that type of thing. And I really love the video stuff. Okay.
I liked the album cover also.
Yeah, that does look really nice. What do you give this song?
Okay. This is a little bit off topic, but still on topic, I think. Last night you had put on, what is that? Zacchaeus? What's that guy's name? He talks about the DMT stuff and all that.
Terrence McKenna.
Yeah, him. And he was talking about birth, and the way that he explained it was so, like, strange and interesting. And he was saying, like, you've created a whole world where you are, and then you get forced out of that world, which we talk about a lot. But you end up somewhere else, and then sometimes when he's talking, seriously, I'm laying there, I'm pregnant, I can't have anything. I'm not even sipping on wine. But when he's talking, sometimes I feel kind of like I'm in a trance.
Terrence McKenna, I don't know if you guys have ever listened to any Terrence McKenna, but he has a sort of rhythm to his cadence when he talks that is very bizarre. It's very entrancing.
It like sucks me in. I either get completely entranced by the topic where I'm like picturing what he's saying, or I fall asleep. It's one of the two.
Terrence McKenna is a real trip to listen to. Yeah. Because I truly believe he had something else going on.
Oh,
I really,
for sure.
He figured out. I haven't really developed this thought yet, but essentially what I have in my mind is like there is this border land between the physical and the spiritual, and there's a doorway. and he's found a way to. I feel like Terrence McKenna always had one foot in the spiritual, supernatural world and one foot in this world.
Yeah.
So when he talks, you don't really know what's happening to you, but he's
He's talking from the door frame.
It's impossible. You just have to listen to him. He's got a 7-hour one, which is basically like the history of the world. Terrence McKenna is a guy that really popularized DMT and all that shit.
It's very interesting.
Way before Joe Rogan.
But anyway,
he died of a brain issue, and
really,
was it related to DMT or not? I don't know. But go ahead.
How old was he?
40. He was young. Very, very, very young. Very, very young.
Weird.
Very young.
Weird. Okay, so anyway, so when he was talking about it, like, he was basically making it seem like, you know, which we've all talked about. Like, if you were a baby in the womb and you were going to get thrown out of the womb in the dramatic fashion that it happens, like, you probably wouldn't want to do that. But then, and then, again, I don't know what was his thoughts and what was mine, but, like, when the child enters the world, obviously we're talking about when a child enters the world into a loving family, like, it's received into arms of love. And, like, you know, like, the mother takes the child and she's holding the baby and nursing the baby, and the father's looking over the shoulder waiting for his opportunity to get that little bundle in his arms, you know, like, but understanding she just went through everything to get there. And so, like, just that experience, and that, like, what the baby was loved inside the womb, but the baby didn't feel the arms around it and that warmth of the mommy skin and stuff, because you don't know warmth until you know cold. So when the baby's in the womb, they don't feel the cold. They're just always in the neutral. Warmth. Yeah, it's just good all the time. So then it comes out, it's like cold, the baby's screaming, you know, and then they're wrapped up in the bundle and everything. But I was thinking, like, because sometimes I find the concept of death to be so, like, a little bit repulsive, you know. Like, when I was talking to my mother, she said that when my grandmother passed away, she said I was glad when she passed, because she said she labored for so long. I said, what do you mean labored? She said she struggled, like she was just, I said, like delivery? And she said, yeah, she was struggling so much at the end with breathing, and with your body is like shutting down and you're still there. And just it just sounded so terrible. And then I thought to myself, oh, right, but if it's like that when the baby enters the world, like the baby went from the womb to the world, and in the world there's more experiences, more love, more people. And I thought, wow, like, if you follow that concept into death, and then you labor as you die, and obviously, like, our belief system is that there is a world after this one, and then you enter that one, and you know, a lot of us believe, well, they went on to be an angel, you know what I mean? Like, so all those people that went on before, like, if they're all waiting on the other side, and then you're ushered into that realm, like, you would look at this realm like looking in the womb, like, you was so lonely there, you know? So, I don't know, just the way that he was talking just kind of, and then this song, something about this song kind of, like, brought me back to that space where he was kind of talking about that. I'm giving this one an 8.9.
The solid 9 for me. Don't go anywhere, guys.
What did you give the last song? You remember?
9.4, I think.
It was a 9, yeah, okay, all right.
Don't go anywhere, guys. We got more metal for you coming up. Vin out.
Sorry out.
Go. Song number 3 coming up. Commercial break. I'm Vin.
I'm sorry.
If you would like to get your song reviewed, dear listener, there's the Filthy Capitalist option. As Sori says, 125 gets you straight to the head of the line. You don't have to be a part of the alliance. You don't have to be part of the group.
Wait a minute.
And the biggest thing is you don't have to wait. You hop, skip, and jump right in front of everybody. 125 gets you there. You do that 3 times, and then get mashed down to the $75 rate for perpetuity.
Yes!
Also, there is a band review option. So if you've got a band and you're trying to get your band some exposure, hit me up at insori@gmail.com, and I'll show you the details about how to pull that off.
You can also jump on Patreon, and there is a option on the tiers to be able to get your band reviewed. Yep. Obviously, we can't lie to you, so we can't guarantee a positive review. Get what you get.
It's just rubbish.
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 That's British for garbage.
My favorite is the community option. $1 at the gate gets you in at Patreon. You get to join an alliance. The alliance joins their points together, and that helps determine what songs that we do.
The alliances hang out on Discord.
Message me on Patreon to get the link.
And they do all kinds of other cool things. They do Minecraft. Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah. It's really a community within the community. Anybody can go in the village, facebook.com/Dvne and sori. There's 160,000+ people on the channel. What's cool about the Discord is that it offers a real opportunity for community connection, friendship, that type of thing.
And it's on Discord, so if you're not a Facebook person, it's for you.
You start off at $1.
Right.
Plus you get exclusives. Sori and I are working on a song. So the first 15 seconds of that was on Patreon. Also, at $15 tier and above, when we actually debut the video, they're going to be there live with us. There you are, dear listener.
Buy our merch.
Buy our merch indeed. A child shall lead them.
To buy our merch.
All right, guys. This is a alliance stream. So if you're part of an alliance, it's $1 a month at the beginning, starting out anyway, and you get a bunch of really cool perks. But one of the perks is that, boom, here we go. This day is dedicated to that. Okay, so this is Anarchy 99.
Yep, the leader of this one is Negative Vibes.
Yes, Negative Vibes.
Anarchy 99 is the one. Doesn't Anarchy 99 have the most revolving doors for leaders? Is that true?
I don't know.
It's switched quite a few times, I think.
Yeah. Shout out to Negative Vibes, though.
Yep. Mole Surf is the title and the band. A99's bracket was as varied as one might expect, with everything ranging from indie rock, funk, hip hop, jazz, and just other. The winner of which falls mostly into the latter category.
This was Kellendross's pick. I just had to say, because
a blend of post-rock, shoegaze, mellow death, and a touch of hardcore. Mole's, if I'm saying it correctly, 2021 release Diorama is a very fitting pick for Anarchy 99's top offering of the year. Anarchy 99's winner of the Album of the Year tournament is Mole Surf. I feel like it's not Mole.
Yeah, it's probably some pronunciation.
Something
but
that sounds
I
cooler
think,
than Mole.
I think,
And you said that the winner of this one was Kel?
Oh, that's a cool name. Artemisia. I really like that name.
I do too.
I also like Persephone.
That was the name. Wasn't that the name? No.
Wasn't that a name we brought up? It was a girl and you shot it down.
There was one I really liked and I don't remember what it was. Well, it doesn't matter. We're not having a girl.
Yeah. This time, because of you.
Are you saying that right?
Yeah, Artemisia, I think.
Artemisia? I really like that.
Because, Artemis, great as Artemis of the Ephesians.
Yeah. Artemisia.
It's pronounced like there's an OE sound. We don't have that in English. OE sound. I don't know. Okay. Here we go. The name of the song is Surf, S-E-R-F. The name of the band is Moel, maybe. All right. Let's go. Where's those lyrics? Is the lyrics right there?
Loving it already.
Where?
Ooh, I like this.
I love post metal. You know that setting on the song for my mom? That's all post metal. That's on the,
really?
on the amp, yeah.
It makes me feel alive.
I have to write. I'm gonna get the name of that band so I can find it in iTunes.
Wow.
I am done being like, oh, I want to hear that song later.
Yeah, you know what?
I'm not doing that anymore. I'm writing this shit down immediately.
Yep, I think that's smart because there's been so many times where I've said, that's going on my Sorry playlist, and I never put it because I assumed I was going to remember the name of it, and then I didn't, and I'm like, oh, I should have just been doing that.
This is a playlist song. I don't know. I think Kellen Dross has pretty much figured me out. This was his pick. Their name is Danish for moth. Hey,
really?
275 in the house. Gang. What's up, 275? Yeah, I obviously I love the song. I want to make sure that I have it. So that's already there on iTunes. Okay. So let's get into the lyric. I think I don't know if I like post metal more than I like. Kel, is Thursday a post metal band? Thursday, that band? The Understanding the Car Crash people? I don't know if I like post metal more than I like black metal. Although somebody could find me a post black metal. Well, it's that band that I forgot who it was that introduced. Was that River that introduced us to that band? Remember, it was like the one where it was like the devil, and the devil was like the good guy. Was that Rivers? What's that song where the devil? It's like a couple of them where like the devil's the good guy in the song, and he's like trying to reason with God, like stop being so mean to everybody or whatever.
Oh,
I forgot the name.
I don't remember either.
But
yeah,
I think they're probably close to maybe a post metal band with some black metal influences. I'm not sure. Anyway, I really love this song. Really good. Okay, what about you?
Okay, so when it started, obviously that sound was like perfect.
Yeah.
I absolutely loved it. And it had this sort of like, I felt alive.
Light Bearer. That's what it was. Yes.
I felt so alive when it was first playing. The vocal style threw me off for a second because it was not at all what I expected. Because, well, Anarchy 99 doesn't generally pick stuff, from my knowledge, that has that sort of like dark kind of sound to it. Like, it was kind of like vocals, you know what I mean? Like
Anarchy 99 always had like it was they always had like weird different stuff from all over the place. You really couldn't pin. You can't really pin Anarchy 99 down.
I just didn't expect that type of vocal style, so that threw me off for a little bit. Because I was expecting like a Pain of Salvation type of voice, and but then once I got into it, I came back around to it. So I really enjoyed the song. What was it singing about?
You know what's interesting is I generally like kind of laugh at Amy when she complains about the vocals, but I would have actually liked a more traditional sounded vocal style for this particular song. I probably would have liked it more. I still love the song, but this particular song, like if it was clean vocally or even like maybe even a little bit grungy but a little bit more legible, I think actually I would have liked the song even more, which I generally like death vocals, but this one it was just so pretty that I wished I could have it could have been, the whole way. But
I agree.
That's not going to really hurt the score too bad. Not too bad, but I actually have to note it because Amy's my folks, and this is the one time I agreed with her complaints. I always wait for her to complain about the Cookie Monster Vokes. Or what she call it, the barf.
Barfy vocals.
Although she hit me up one time, she's like, get me a heavy barfy song, because she was in some thing, like it was like some competition or whatever.
Yeah.
And I suggested a song, and she won. Because it was barfy.
That's great.
And then there's another one where I was like supposed to rap or something like that, but she never called me for it, so whatever. I'm here for you. Okay. What did you think the song was about?
That's what I asked you.
Later, Sadie. Have a good one. Stay safe out there, guys. Stay safe out there. All right. Well, the name of the song is Surf, which is interesting. Go ahead.
It kind of gave me the feel of like, well, My shades are finite, a central disease, shedding the skin, transfixed in its might. My light is alive, fleeting, a bright, twisting my form. I love this writing style, probably because it's the way that I like to write when I feel particularly poetic. I like to just kind of throw out random, well, seemingly random things, but it creates a train of thought for myself. I felt like today when the babies were in bed and you took everybody to the park to play basketball, I was like, I would love to have some time for some art, but I was doing a form of art. I was working on your music video.
Yeah, I'll be very interested to see. Patrons, our first ever music video is in the cutting room floor.
Yeah, I was like, honestly, when I was working on it, I'm like, I want amazing equipment. I'm working with some subpar stuff here, and you're so good. It was like, anyway, so yeah, so just change your color, symbolic rights with no meaning. You are changing your color, a guiding light, void of meaning. Like, I don't think that I have the proper interpretation for this song, but like this,
it's interesting. It's change your color, right?
Yep.
Then you go down, it's change your color.
Yeah.
You're changing your color. That is interesting.
To me, it was just like
I might have, Dan.
the changes, like life changes and things change and you change. And I think that probably the best people on the planet are the people that, maybe they're humble or maybe they're more easygoing type people. Like they're like, okay, so like out of all of our kids, if I just look at our kids, the happiest of our kids are the ones that can change the flow. Things can change around them and they're good with it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's Johan all the way.
That's Johan 100%.
Like he's the happiest one. Like everybody has their own thing that makes them happy, but the more rigid each child is, the more things upset them.
Orion's
the more,
pretty rigid.
Reza's depends on the day, honestly.
Yeah.
You know, but at the same time, like Johan, he gets joy from a lot of little things. But if you buy a gift for Johan or you buy a gift for Dorian and you nail the gift with Dorian, there's a lot of joy in that gift because you nailed it. You know what I mean? Because it's not a bunch of things that makes him happy. It's specific things. And when you nail, I don't know. So I was just, to me, it was like thinking about changes and like that. I was talking to a person that has a lot of difficulties and their big thing that they're working on is balance and not only looking at all the negative and all the stuff that will end up dragging them down. And they're in a very difficult situation. They have 2 children and both of them have a terminal illness. So like I kind of think that when you're in a situation like that, you are forced to deal with stuff and you are forced to either decide like, are you going to live out your days in misery? Because if you are, you're going to create a miserable existence for these kids. So if you can't get over the fact that you're so hurt and upset and angry that they're in that situation, then, you're going to make their limited days. So, so it forces you to deal with it, forces you to become balanced and forces you to look at the other side of things and try to find, some positivity in the midst of something that's not, but like my light is alive, fleeting, a bright, twisting my form as the pressure increases. Again, to me, all of this was, I can't even describe like the meanings of this one, but it just, rampart broken away, fractured from your world and your ways. I'm living on, but it's eating away my dismay. I don't know. To me, I feel like this could just fit on everybody's life. And I feel like there's parts of it that everybody could relate to. But is there some political thing I'm missing here?
Well, no, but I mean, I do think when it says change your collar, symbolic rights with no meaning, that obviously, that the priest
That's literally, I thought of that
has
too,
that collar. But it's like, I guess the person has gotten to a point now where it doesn't have any meaning for him, or the person is observing that this priest, like, isn't believing or following it, doesn't really believe it anymore. So it's basically like, man, change your color. Like, this thing has no meaning anymore. You're changing your color, a guiding light void of meaning. not particularly certain what the changing your color metaphor means, other than.
Oh.
Go ahead.
No, I mean, I have, again, I have an abstract meaning for this. Like, changing your color, like, I think of, you know, it's going to sound, I would get excommunicated from any church. Like, somebody's aura and the sort of, like, presence, the light that's around them, the person that they are and what they project
I can follow
out.
that. I can follow that.
When it, like, change your color, symbolic rights with no meaning.
Hey,
like,
Neil in the house. Long time no see, buddy.
Just because you have, like, a collar and you're doing all these things that are like, there's so many people that at the beginning of this stream were like, you're the only Christians I can tolerate because you guys are really putting stuff for, like, when we were talking about, you know, taking this kid in from Rwanda, you know what I'm saying? Like,
we didn't take a kid in from Rwanda.
Right.
Our patrons helped us support a kid from Rwanda.
Right. Yeah. I forget that.
Just don't want
not
people
everybody's.
that, yeah.
Not everybody's. I feel like everybody that was here already knows what I'm talking about. But yeah. So that situation, you know what I'm saying? Like, but I'm not saying that we're the best of all human beings. I'm just saying that if you look at, like, that's the type of Christian that I want to be, or that's the type of person that I want to be, where what I do or what I say has meaning, and then the changing your light, a guiding light void of meaning. Like, I don't want to be that person. Like, I don't want to be the person that sees so much the dark side of everything and so much the negative side of everything that everything that you project out is negativity and darkness. Mm-hmm. And so when it said change your color, to me it was like, okay, start looking at this another way, like, and get that energy different, change your color, you know.
Yeah, the only thing that I see with the color is black. So there is a color mentioned in the song, and it's black.
Black Breath of Divide.
And it's pretty close. I mean, it's in the previous stanza, right?
Also the next one.
So it says, you are changing your color, a guiding light void of meaning, and then it says void of meaning 3 times. And then it says black breath of divide. Do you see another one?
No, you said the one before, so I was saying, well, I saw it in the one after.
Invading
so I just assumed...
with ease, spreading within a sickening. Is that white or weight?
Oh, that's a good question.
I'm assuming that's white. That's probably some weird European way of spelling white, which would make sense. So it says, you're changing your color, a guiding light, and then it's black breath of divide, spreading within, and it turns into a sickening white. My light is alive, etc., etc. So I think if you look all the way down, it says, rampart broken away, fractured from your world and your ways. I'm living on, but it's eating away my dismay. Changing colors, symbolic rights. So I think it's this person is saying, look, I've seen your little world, your belief system, whatever it is, and it's meaningless. You should get rid of it. But whether or not you're getting rid of it, I'm getting rid of it because it has no meaning and it has no value. And my life or my light, it's black. Okay, it's black light in the sense that
oh, I see.
Religious people are saying, I have the light, I have the way. So if you were to go the complete opposite of that, you would be black. But because their way is the wrong way, then the black then becomes a light because it's guiding you away from that oppressive, whatever, terrible. That's what it looks like to me. Mm-hmm. Well, one of the things that people don't understand, especially about people that, quote, lose faith or leave the religion, is how difficult it is for them to do that.
Yeah.
Like, people think there was, you know, like a year ago, 2 years ago, we had like a string of very famous Christian musicians that all like said, I don't believe this shit anymore, blah, blah, blah. And of course, people started attacking them for doing that. Mm-hmm. And then people started saying, why do you have to say it out in public, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, well, when they were sharing their faith in public, you didn't have a problem.
Yep.
So they're going through a crisis of faith, or they get to a point where whatever, I mean, I don't know. I talked about this yesterday, but a giant report from the Southern Baptist Convention came out, and you had hundreds of instances of guys that were dead to rights, like caught, admitted they did it, molesting kids, abusing women, whatever. And I'm not part of the SBC, but I'm a Christian, so I'm not doing that bullshit. We moved them all around. Okay? How much of that do you expect people to ingest when you're their leadership? Yeah, I mean, we've always kind of had our own thing with God from the get-go.
Right.
We didn't get our faith from other people. I didn't even get my faith from my parents.
Yeah,
Neither did you.
I don't think I did either.
So it's easy for people like us to be like, oh, but if you got your faith from these leaders and you can't separate your faith from the religious leaders, and then you hear all this shit, and on top of it, you know, they told you that Adam and Eve were riding dinosaurs and shit, and then they go to, you know, 7th grade biology. All of that shit conspires together. It is very difficult for people to say, I'm done with this. And it's terrifying. So maybe have you even considered that maybe these people are doing this out in public just because they don't want to be alone and they're scared of the new world they're in? Has it ever even occurred to you? Nope. It's just, they're horrible. They're recruiting for the Antichrist. They woke up and decided they didn't want to be a Christian anymore. No, usually it's pretty traumatic for people.
Yeah.
Usually people have a very, very, very hard time.
Yeah, and I think the other thing too is that as a Christian, like part of our faith is to be, you know, honest and upfront, blah blah blah. So
yeah,
you wanted these people to be honest and upfront, but now all of a sudden that they're
Correct.
questioning the faith,
Correct.
you find it uncomfortable, and now you want them to front like they're not having an issue.
Correct.
No.
Correct.
No. And so, you know, honestly, a lot of people went through that crisis of faith, and I saw lots of people going through it. And at first I had judgment for them. And then after a while I was like, wow, that's really honest of them. And then when I went through my own kind of crisis and difficulties, I kept thinking about, I thought about the people that had come before me that I had judged when they were going through theirs. And I'm like, wow, I can't believe I judged them in that situation. Like,
I mean, yeah. I mean, I get it, but you know, you're not taught in evangelicalism how to deal with people like that.
no, it's really looked away from because I think people feel uncomfortable.
Yeah, you know what the issue is? I'm completely convinced of. Those people are not secure in their own faith, and they take the fact that everybody around them is going along with it as they're getting the affirmation of their faith from the fact that other people are doing it. So then when somebody says, nah, I'm not seeing this anymore, then it makes them insecure. And instead of dealing with their own insecurity, they go after the person and they berate them or whatever and say all types of crazy shit to them and about them to make themselves feel better, which I think was I don't know if you saw this or not, because we're usually in and out of consciousness when we're watching that show, but there's a show where there's a really religious guy and he won't come to terms with the fact that somebody did this horrible thing who was a Christian or whatever, and he's like, they were never a Christian, they were never truly a Christian, blah blah blah, this can never be, and he just could not accept it that Christians did this. It's no commentary on you that and you see this a lot with Christian parents. I didn't realize this until I was talking with an atheist guy. We were going back and forth, and he basically said, you know, don't cycle this video. And, you know, everybody knows I'm a little bit of a jerk. I'm like, what's the problem? And he told me, he said, my parents don't know. This kid was 28 years old.
People have actually said this a couple times.
28!
But the thing is, like, if the parents could, like, stop and friggin' chill, they would realize that that child that called himself an atheist was having a conversation with you about religion. So he wasn't completely closed off to any and all forms of religion. That's why he was having the conversation. So nobody's going to sit around and argue with you whether or not Santa Claus is real. Nobody's going to take time for that.
Yeah.
But they did, because I think that there was still something within him that was kind of like, you know, maybe, but I don't know. I've seen a lot of bullshit, you know? And then, you know, he's having that conversation. I'm like, wow, like, it'd be so crazy and so awesome if his parents could just celebrate this and have an understanding. Like, we saw our kids going through, not all of them, but, you know, Johan never did.
No.
Johan, my God. Yeah. But, you know, one of them was saying
Dorian
this part of the Bible is worthless. He was saying
Dorian never went through a crisis of faith. Dorian just doesn't know any better. So he was in church and he's like, yeah, the Psalms are worthless.
He's worthless.
He liked Paul. He liked Paul a lot, but he's like, the Psalms are worthless. And I remember being like, okay, well, you came to me. You're like,
He's saying that the Psalms are worthless.
She was terrified. She was like,
honestly, I think I was afraid that like lightning was going to strike him or something like that.
Well,
like,
what happened?
You can't
What did
say
he
that
do?
about the
I thought he
scriptures.
gave a kid an eye jammy, and you're like, wait, I'll bring him to you. So she brings him to me. I'm like, what's good, Dory? What's going on? He's like, I don't know, Father. I just told Miss Sori that the Psalms were worthless, and then she had this big reaction.
I was very worried. I'm like, this is not. You can't say that the Bible's worthless. But then that was the beginnings of like letting people say what they really think.
How many Christians have read through Leviticus or Numbers? Honestly.
I'm pretty sure that's probably what you said at that time.
Most Christians believe that there's chunks of the Bible that are worthless. Like,
but
I believe all of it is great.
You shouldn't be that honest out loud.
Yeah, you shouldn't be that honest out loud in church. You should lie. You should lie.
Let me show you my horrified
pull
face
the wool
and don't
over
do that.
God's eyes.
Oh, man. Anyway.
You should pull the wool over God's eyes and not let him, whatever. But, I don't care, man. That's their business. That's between them and Allah.
Oh, my gosh. I'm so glad that we ended up doing that.
My job is to be a consultant.
Yeah, because now they say what they want. They say what they feel. It was funny because one of them came to us the other night and they were basically like,
negative.
Here's
you
the
keep
problem.
your blasphemy to yourself.
Yeah, you keep your blasphemy to yourself.
Keep your blasphemy to yourself. I needed this tonight. Holy shit. Shout out to BC.
So
Shout
one
out
of the
to
kids
Negative
comes the
Vibes.
other night. They had an issue that they know that is like not the way that the Bible would teach, and they were like looking at me like, aren't you going to talk me out of this? And I was like thinking to myself, really? I mean, what is there to say? If they already know what the teachings are, but they already know they don't want to go along with it. I mean, what is there really that, what am I supposed to, lock you in the basement until you change your mind?
Like,
I mean, come on.
And like, for all you parents, like, it's a sweet thing when you provide a secure area for your kids to say whatever they want about faith. Because when they come to you and they say they had an experience with God or that they've committed something to God or they prayed about something, you can celebrate it inside because you know it's real. But if you force these kids to repeat back to you what you want to hear, then forget it. Stop being so crazy, man. If your kid says he doesn't believe anymore, it's probably a good reason for it. Anyway, what do you got?
9.2. Okay. Sonically, musically, it's a 9.2 for me.
I do, Dan.
The vocal style, I would give it like an 8.7. So I'm having a little bit of trouble because
This is my favorite song of the day. 9.7 for me.
9.7. 9.1.
Really, really high.
9.1.
This song really would have been a 10.
But if
it had cleaner vocals, it was a 10.
Easily been a 10 for me as well. That's where I thought we were headed.
5.1 from Dwayne. How dare you? How dare I don't know what's worse. Dorian saying the Psalms were worthless or Dwayne giving this a 5. I'd probably say Dorian's is worse so I could maintain my Christian card. Did you really think he was going to get struck?
Well, not like struck because that was a bit extreme, but I was worried about like, you can't say that about the Bible. Like, what is happening here? And the other thing too was like,
every time you come to me with a problem during that period, I'd always disappoint you.
Oh, you did.
You'd be like, the street people are behind the bar serving the food. I'm like, that's great. And I'm like, what the fuck? The street people? What the fuck does that mean, Sori? You're like, they're behind, sir. I'm like,
okay, there's a
isn't
couple
that
things
what
with that.
we want?
Like,
we want them
totally,
serving their own community.
Totally
We're not their saviors. It's their place.
Yeah, I get all of that. My issue was a couple things. One is I am a little bit OCD. I worked in food and I also worked in a hospital. So cleanliness and the depth of cleanliness that I wanted, it could not be attained without really, really insulting people. And I was afraid like we were going to make people sick, like people weren't washing their hands well enough. Because you can tell them wash their hands and they would wash their hands and like the fingernails. I was like, oh no.
Look,
there was that. And
we
then
were
also,
in the midst of the ghetto, okay?
It didn't matter, but I felt like it was a big giant deal. Everything felt like a big giant deal at that point. Instead of just being like, wow, this is so crazy. These people are back here and they want to help serve their community. I couldn't see that. I was worried about the fingernails. And the other thing that I was worried about was like,
I just felt like you just had the typical evangelical missionary mindset, which is go in there and turn the natives into you. So all the natives, they used to
know.
have long hair, they cut their hair, they used to walk around naked, now they have clothes.
Well, I would put them in clothing.
Yeah, like...
I'm not watching that all day
you know,
long.
They made some mistakes. I came in one time that they were gossiping, and you're like, they can't be back there, they're gossiping. I'm like, oh my gosh.
Yeah. Well, okay.
Can't we guide
Again,
these
let me
people?
explain. So the girl that was behind the counter with me, this guy comes in, and the guy was like, she's like, hey, how are you? And he was like, oh, well, you know, I broke up with my girlfriend. And then immediately, like, okay, so the people behind the bar were usually like the people running the church, but she was behind there. And she was like, that bitch. She's like, I'm so glad that you dumped her. She was a effing whore, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, ah! I'm freaking out because now it looks like our church is calling people that. So I was like, well.
It was. She was our people.
I know. You get what I'm saying? Like our leaders, like the pastors. And
No,
stuff,
everybody knew that she wasn't in the leadership.
Well, not everybody knew because some people walking in didn't
But we
know
don't
who she
take her
was.
from behind the bar where she's serving her community, where she finally feels empowered and they're actually doing something. We didn't tell these people to serve. They did it themselves.
So I loudly told her that gossiping is not something that we should be doing, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, you blitzed her in front of all those people.
I did.
That's why when I strolled in, everybody was like, Vin! I was like, oh my God, like, leave me alone. I gave you like...
You know what?
I gave you the death glare.
Oh, you did?
Because I was so mad at you guys, because I'm like, why did I waste my time teaching you people about this stuff? We're not going down there to save these people. We're not going down there to turn them into us. We're going down there to facilitate them walking with God and restoring their own community. That was the entire goal. So then these people start deciding that they're going to take matters into their own hands and start serving their community.
Yeah.
But they have to do it perfect. They got to be perfect. So anytime any of these people sinned...
Oh my God, Vin.
all the Christians would come after me and try to get me to agree with them that we need to get them from behind the bar, and I wouldn't do it. That's why she was always disappointed.
He's saying behind
in
the
me.
bar because it was literally in a bar. It was an old bar. Poles and everything. But anyway, I remember that look on your face.
Oh my God.
He was trying to get to the basement.
I was
so
trying as like mad. You should have seen me. You should have seen
and
me.
usually when I would see Vin was on his way out and he
You
didn't
should have
want to be
seen me,
disturbed,
Tina. I fled. I
I'd
was
give him
running.
his space. He put his hand on the door. I was like, no, he needs to hear what's going on.
Yeah.
And so I went over there, and the look that you gave me, honest to goodness, I actually miss like that version of you and that version of me because I thought it was so funny every time that you got like annoyed. Because I'm like, look at this, he's so angry, like
Angry little Negro.
I'm angry.
All right.
Anyway,
We got one more song on the way.
I learned I'm better.
Been out.
Sorry, out.
Gone. You are. I think you'd be much better now.
Oh, I'm a lot better, but
You'd
I
be
still
much
have
better now.
so far to go.
But before, oh man, I'd had it up to here. I taught these people for hours over about this shit. Hours I would teach you guys this stuff. And everybody be like, that's so great. And you know, sorry, she cried. Oh my God, that's so beautiful what we're going to be doing. And then when it's time to act, it's like, hey,
Wait a minute.
the sinners are sinning. What are we going to do?
Sinners are sinning.
Sinners are sinning. God almighty, help us. There's Amy and Dan having a good jihad back and forth. We got one more track. I'm Vin.
I'm sorry.
If you would like to get your song reviewed, dear listener, there's the Filthy Capitalist option. As Sori says, 125 gets you straight to the head of the line. You don't have to be a part of the alliance. You don't have to be part of the group.
Wait a minute.
And the biggest thing is you don't have to wait. You hop, skip, and jump right in front of everybody. 125 gets you there. You do that 3 times, and you get mashed down to the $75 rate for perpetuity.
Yes.
Also, there is a band review option. So if you've got a band and you're trying to get your band some exposure, hit me up at itsori@gmail.com, and I'll show you the details about how to pull
You
that off.
can also jump on Patreon, and there is a option on the tiers to be able to get your band reviewed. Obviously, we can't lie to you, so we can't guarantee, a positive review. Get what you get.
It's just rubbish.
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 That's British for garbage.
My favorite is the community option. $1 at the gate gets you in at Patreon. You get to join an alliance. The alliance joins their points together, and that helps determine what songs that we do.
The alliances hang out on Discord.
Message me on Patreon to get the link.
And they do all kinds of other cool things. They do Minecraft, Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah. It's really a community within the community. Anybody can go in the village, facebook.com/Dvne and Sori. There's 160,000+ people on the channel. What's cool about the Discord is that it offers a real opportunity for community connection, friendship, that type of thing.
And it's on Discord, so if you're not a Facebook person, it's for you.
You start off at $1.
Right.
Plus you get exclusives. Sori and I are working on a song. So the first 15 seconds of that was on Patreon. Also, at $15 tier and above, when we actually debut the video, they're going to be there live with us. There you are, dear listener.
Buy our merch.
Buy our merch indeed. A child should lead them.
To buy our merch. Is this what you were asking for? Okay, you guys, we are doing another stream. Oh, put up that picture.
What picture?
I sent you a picture during that blue. Yeah, right there.
Ah, the brackets.
This is what they did to create this stream. What the? These people like go all in, right?
Yeah, they're.
This is all the stuff that they went through to get to these like winners.
I wish they would do like a video, like a 5-minute video. I would just, because every alliance is different, and I don't know, like the organizational, like that must be really hard to get all those moving pieces in one place, because you got 4 different alliances and they're voting, they're going back and forth, and I don't know.
This is why I yelled at you on that trip when we were walking. So Vin came up with the idea for alliances, but he didn't talk to me about it first. He just announced it to everybody, and I was furious.
That's true.
I wish I knew which video it was.
That's true.
Then we end the stream, and I'm like, what the fuck?
I did it in a live stream right before our walk.
I literally yelled at him for like 25 minutes. I was like, this is not going to work. Because I was picturing what you just saw on the screen. I pictured I'm going to have to do that for every alliance. Like, I'm going to be running all that stuff. I don't have time to do all that stuff. I can't do this. And so he was like, it's got people are going to step forward. There's going to get leaders, and the leaders will run their thing. Blah, blah,
yeah,
blah.
I knew we had. That's the thing. We had Kel, we had Zonia, we had a lot of like Damon Sage, like so, like. And the thing is, they know this stuff. We don't know this stuff. We were coming in.
Oh, I know.
Completely ignorant of metal. So, like, I knew that even if we were running it, they would take it away from us. Nicely.
Yeah.
Nicely, but I'm sure they would take it away. I knew they would take it away from us.
Honestly, he stayed so calm. I was yelling so much. I was furious. And then, well, I've told you I'm sorry many times since then because I realized how wrong I truly was. They even like upload it to Trello for us. You guys are great.
Yeah, but yeah, you were yelling pretty hard on the road there. Like people don't that was where Amy was like, that was a very productive fight. When we had the little fight thing where.
Yeah, that was another time that the camera was rolling. We didn't know it was rolling. Him and I get in a fight, and some people were saying everybody needs to leave this stream. This
it was so
obviously
funny.
Not planned,
it was like,
but everybody.
Shit, I would have
left. The number didn't drop.
I would have left. I'd have stayed.
Then
finally,
Amy, like, I'm getting texts from her, and when I was getting the text, I'm like, are we live? And I'm like, no, how could we be live? Why would that still be live? And then when Amy started calling, I was like, oh shit. I answered. She's like, you guys are live. I was like, we're live, Vin.
Amy says it was productive and respectful. Yeah, but the other conversation about the alliances was not productive and respectful. It was just one of those things where God just told me, there's nothing you can say. Just weather the storm.
That's really how it went. Honestly,
that's what he told me. He said, "There's nothing you can do. Just weather the storm."
And there was nothing you could say.
So she just went Amber Heard on me for about 2 miles, and we were good.
I must have said "what the fuck" 50 times.
Yeah, you were.
How could you do when I'm doing this? Right? It's it.
There was a cop on the street. He was driving down on patrol, and I'm like, yo, if the roles were reversed, he would have been like,
yep.
And rightly so. I mean, I was completely safe. But,
I was completely safe. Okay, Spectral Wound, Frigid and Spellbound. That's the name of the song. Wow, that's so terribly fitting.
Yeah, Amber Heard. It's me and Johnny Depp. We're abused. We're all
Stop, babe.
Listen. Me, the big homie Dan, and Johnny Depp. We're gonna start an alliance of abused men.
I never crushed your finger.
Amber Heard crushed Johnny Depp's finger.
Apparently, with a bottle in the table.
La ilaha illallah. Okay.
Okay, that's just what I heard. I mean, I'm not with my research like Vin is, so that's what I heard. Do your own fucking research. I don't know if that happened or not.
But yeah, she was angry.
Honestly, like okay, so one more thing. So Vin, he was in a debate with somebody. It's not a published debate, but anyway, you said, why would you bring this up? And the person basically said, honestly, it took my heart when the person said it, because they said, well, I read it and it seemed like it was going with my points. I went with it.
Oh, yeah.
It was really cute. And that's basically how I do stuff. Like, I'll see stuff online, and if it kind of goes along with what I think, I'm like, Amber Heard, she crushed his finger. So I don't do any further research. I just assume what I read was true. Had somebody said that about me, I'd be like, you guys should have fucking researched that. I never crushed his finger.
Yeah, I don't use the term triggered a lot, but I was listening to some of the Amber Heard, Johnny Depp shit, and I'm not a.
Yeah, but not because of me.
Oh no, not because of Soraya. No.
Well,
Everybody knows. Dan knows. I was talking to Dan.
Yeah, but we just got done saying how I what the fucked you on the whole.
Yeah, nobody believes that you're abusing me. Good God.
I mean, please.
But yeah, shout out to Johnny Depp and all the men that go through it. We're laughing, but it really is. It's fucked up. But anyway, people should love each other. That's what
honestly.
I think.
One more thing, I heard her say after, like, it was a recording of her. She was hitting him, and then she was like, he was talking to her so calmly about it, and he didn't want to be hit. And she was like,
that's when I stopped watching it, because
yeah. Well, she basically was like saying to him, like, she's like, Johnny, you're being the fucking bitch right now. I'm not complaining. And it's like, what the fuck? Of course you're not complaining. You're the one assaulting him. What do you mean you're not complaining? What is happening?
I think there's a lot of layers to that situation that we don't know about. But
well, I heard she shit on his bed. That's just weird. Let's go.
And with that, Spectral Wound, Frigid and Spellbound, let's do it.
Spellbound.
Tremolo picking, let's go. Let's go. Let's go! drummer though. That drummer though. Let that ring out. Yeah.
Man,
Yeah. Yeah.
I wish. Okay. I don't know. Shout out to my people. But I always feel like that a lot of times when Christians do something, it's just subpar. Like, they didn't go as hard as other people did when they do it. Like, if there was a Christian band that put out music like this, that sound... Okay, I'm not, like, a fan of the vocal style, but it also has that desperate sound, which... I love the desperate sound no matter what style it is. And so, like, this style that has that sort of desperate sound, like, if it was, like, Dark Night of the Soul Psalms put to this type and just screaming it out, and how, like, he, you know, just talking about the death and the darkness and how, like, he was feeling, but, like, needing, like, that desperately needing the giver of life to give them light, give them love, give them, you know what I mean? Like, to hear that in the vocals would be insane. Insane. But I think Christians are too, like, this is not, we cannot, please.
I'm sure there's a Christian black metal band out there somewhere.
Yeah, I want this desperate sounding vocal style though. That's the issue.
Love the music. Really, 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 really love the music. Everybody knows I love the tremolo stuff, so that's good. All right, what did you think the song was about?
I have no idea because I put my own lyrics into the whole thing.
Frigid. You put your own lyrics? So what were the lyrics?
Well, no, it was like the Dark Night, what I just said, the Dark Night of the Soul stuff, the desperate cries toward God, begging for light, begging for His guidance.
Ancestor.
Like
Ancestor's a Christian black metal band, I think.
Don't be so
Remember that thing
blasphemous,
with
sorry.
Noah's? Remember that thing with Noah's Metal Mix? That
Yeah.
CD with that
Yeah.
to see the Holy One
Yeah,
upon
no,
His throne.
no, that-
we
no.
shall see the righteous
No.
face to face.
It's not my thing.
His voice cracked a little bit.
The
That's a
vocal
Filipino
style,
thing.
yeah, the vocal style. I can't do it.
Ancestor is on that record though. Is on that CD. I didn't play the Ancestor song, but it goes down. That was the song that Noah taught me. Because he loved Ancestor.
Okay, well, this is what happens. So, if I go to the grocery store, this is going to sound so, like, I'm going to get to a point. If I go to the grocery store and I buy Great Value, that's like Walmart's knockoff brand. If I buy too many Great Value things that taste like crap, then I'm done with Great Value altogether. They might have an amazing product out there, but I'm never going to try it because they failed me too many times. And if I'm going to buy a Great Value product, that's because they have proved to me that they are better than the other ones. That's how I function.
I see.
So I feel like that with the Christian bands, like, I think that my standards are so high because I'm like, I've seen what you guys have produced.
Well, you have Beethoven. He was on the team.
Yeah.
I mean, some of the greatest musicians were Christians, and they came up with some hard shit. Like, the shit was really good. What?
Yeah, that's true, but it doesn't go into the pool for me because I'm thinking
It's like
about
classic.
Yeah, I know, but I didn't grow up on classic. I grew up on Christian station.
I see. All right. I see.
I'm not
what
as
you're
all
saying.
inclusive as you are to bring all the information to the table. I'm going by my experience, and that's it.
What do you mean you're not like me? What does that mean?
Well, you'll be like, bring up Beethoven and stuff. I'm talking about black metal. I want like some real. A lot of the songs that I heard once we were able to start listening to music, a lot of the Christian songs that I heard, like, then we do this channel and all of a sudden I'm like, wait, they stole that. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of the sounds, like the music and stuff, when we hear some of the stuff, I'm like, wait, I heard something like this when I was, on the Christian station, and then I realized that they kind of like took the popular stuff and switched it around a little bit.
What about Bach? Bach was a Christian?
Don't talk to me about Bach.
What about Handel? Handel's Messiah? It's been called the most epic piece of music in history.
I've never heard it.
He shall reign. All right. So you're just going to criticize, you're just going to crap on Christian musicians, but all the classical Christians that literally have shaped Western music.
Yeah, no, but
you have no time for them.
It's all different genres. Like, yeah, obviously the Christians killed it in the classical sense, but what are we doing in this type of music sense?
All right. Well,
okay,
yeah.
so what did you get from the lyrics?
Well, wandering in a cursed vale, not barren but cluttered, with sculptures and follies half finished, elaborate creations, and suddenly a spring by distance beheld, once upon its banks revealed a frozen, depthless river, defying you to drink, not even to drown, a glittering facade, frigid and spellbound. This is like that Shakespearean type prose. And suddenly a spring by distance beheld.
Yeah.
That sounds like something that the big homie Shakespeare.
Yeah.
I'm glad that you like Shakespeare, though. That really made me happy when you were like really vibing on the Shakespeare stuff. Mm-hmm. Shariah's gonna do. That's another thing we're gonna do for patrons.
I want to do that.
That's another
so
thing we're
badly.
gonna do for patrons. We're stepping up our game. She is so theatrically gifted, guys. You have no idea. So she's gonna do little snippets of like monologues and stuff.
Well, we did. What was the name
Patreon.
of that one?
Which one?
The last one that we watched multiple. No. We watched multiple.
Was
it Hamlet?
No, it wasn't Hamlet. It was King Duncan. Which one was it?
Oh my God, what is it?
My brain's starting to mush. I need more. I need more of my nootropics.
Oh. Babe.
Somebody will figure it out. I just said King Duncan. So once they figure that out.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead.
But that would be. I would love to be in a play where we do that.
Where you'd be the wife.
Yeah.
You tell the demons to unsex you so that you could be as evil as possible.
Yes.
I knew that I knew that would be your line.
Yes.
I knew that would be your line.
Okay. Night comes on like a hunted child. Okay, a labyrinth. I always like the word labyrinth and the concept of it as
Macbeth.
well. Macbeth.
That's right. Macbeth.
Right.
Okay. I got it before you. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so tell me what the lyrics are about, because like I said, I made it my own.
Come to me anon, deranged and defiled, twisting in dark passions of the cruel, nauseous hours, frigid and spellbound. Night comes on like a hunted child, a labyrinth of cold desire. Night comes on like a hunter child. I step into the avalanche, frigid and spellbound. It looks like this is a person wandering in the dark, and they're going to commit harikari by basically going into a river at night in the freezing, and they'll basically freeze to death. Is what it looks like to me.
What? Really?
Yeah. I was married for 6 years. We just weren't breeders. Vin, if you responded, it wasn't to me. Yeah. I could show you what I responded to.
Okay.
Unless your daughter sent it to me, which is possible. All right, continue.
No, you were telling me, because like I said,
Yes,
I don't
I
know
believe
about
it's
these.
this guy. He's gonna unalive himself by going into the water.
Oh my gosh.
right? He's gonna go into the water and freeze to death. That's what I think is happening.
Defying you to drink, not even to drown.
Right. Because I'm not saying he's gonna drown. I'm saying he's gonna freeze to death.
Oh.
Because it's frigid and spellbound.
Okay, wait. That's his death of choice, is what you're saying?
Yeah, I think that's what he's saying he's gonna do. See, look, he's wandering in a cursed vale, not barren but cluttered, with sculptures and follies half-finished, elaborate creations, and suddenly a spring, by distance beheld, once upon its banks revealed, a frozen, depthless river, defying you to drink, not even to drown, a glittering facade, frigid and spellbound. Come to me anon, deranged and defiled, twisting in dark passion. So when I see this, come to me anon, I'm saying that this is the river speaking to the guy.
Well,
to tell him to come into, drown, all
maybe
that
that's
stuff.
Something you shouldn't say. But like, there's been lots of times in the wintertime when the water is very, very frigid, but it's moving and it's very dark and the moon is reflecting off the water.
Oh yeah.
I want to go in it. I've thought of it so many times. Like,
right.
Sometimes I feel like the river's like, come in. And I'm
well,
like,
there is that
idea.
phenomena. There is that phenomena that you talked about, but other people talked about, like when you see an 18-wheeler.
I wasn't gonna bring it up, but that's exactly what I was thinking.
When you see an 18-wheeler coming in, people, it's just a thing where people.
I don't know what it is. Like,
it's a thing where people just like they get tempted to.
It's more for me when I'm walking on the side of the road, and they come by. I always think dive under the wheels. I don't even know, I'm not even saying that I'm in like a dark spot of my life. Like, I could be perfectly happy, but the thought, and the same thing, like, which I think is part of the reason why I don't like heights, is because when I get up there, I feel like, oh, jump.
Yeah, well,
I'm like, do I trust myself?
It's a known thing, you know, guys go through whatever, and then they get assigned a service pistol. Like, every one of them I've ever talked to, they've taken it out and put it to their head and all that. Like, it's this weird thing.
I believe it.
So it doesn't happen to everybody, but it happens to a lot of people.
Why?
And I think this is just I think all of us are just fascinated with the brevity of life. I think is what it comes down to. It's like wrapping your mind around the concept that you could be here and then all you do is move 6 inches that way.
Yeah.
And you'll be gone forever.
Yeah, when I'm driving and I start thinking like, whoa, I have to trust all these people driving on the other side of the road. I don't even know any of these people, but I have to trust them all that they're not going to tip their wheel that way and crash into me.
Yeah.
And like, you do it all day long. You drive thinking about your music, not even paying attention to those headlights coming at you and thinking that like all it takes is one psychopath and you're getting crashed.
You remember that time we went to see the Batman?
Yeah.
You remember that time we were driving and the guy was on the complete wrong side of the...
Yes.
That was weird.
Yeah.
And I was on the right lane. I'm like, shit, I'm glad I wasn't in the left lane. I mean, we probably would have saw him coming, but he was booking it. He wasn't going like...
I don't think he knew. I don't think he knew.
It was one of these... It was a 2-lane highway, and we were only going in one direction. And, there, you know, there's a left lane with the speed lane, and then there's a right lane. This guy was in the left lane on a 2-lane high. I mean, we were all going in one direction, and he was going the complete opposite direction of everybody else. I'm like, what the hell? It was very weird. It was weird. But I think that's what's happening here is that...
The cops were annoyed when I called them.
Yeah.
Because everybody was calling, apparently.
Oh, is that what he said?
Yeah.
About that guy?
Yes, we know.
That guy?
Yeah, they told me, yeah, we know. They were clearly annoyed. It's like, well, I don't know that somebody
could have died. Like, what the hell?
I think it was just the answering service.
Holy
was
shit!
sick of the
Pony
same
in the
phone call.
house. Pony in the house.
Hey.
Yeah, I think that's what happened though. He got called into it. He got, you know, night comes on like a hunted child, a labyrinth of cold desire.
Yeah.
But right here, where it says, "Come to me anon, deranged and defiled, twisting in dark passions of cruel, nauseous hours, frigid and spellbound." I think that's the water calling him into, you know, kind of like the sirens almost a little bit.
Yeah.
And then the guy
step into the avalanche, frigid and spellbound.
Yeah, and then, you know, that's it. And I'm sure a lot of people have met their creator in that way. I love the song, love the tremolo picking. The post metal band before, I'm gonna give it the edge, but I also definitely like this one. What do you give it?
9.3.
Give the other one a 9.6. I'm gonna have to give this one a 9.1. I really, really like this one. But it was a
It's hard
tremolo
because
picking for
when,
me.
Yeah, when I rate songs, like if I was like, okay, overall rate this one, and then I was comparing them, it would be different. But like anything that hits me kind of more in a spiritual way, obviously is gonna get a higher rating. So this one did, so that's why 9.3.
Oh, the shooter was killed as well.
Yeah, I knew that like 2 or 3 hours ago.
Can you imagine? That's how you show up to God with all them bodies on your record? Holy shit, God have mercy on him. Okay, guys. All right. Good song. Thank you guys for the medal. I appreciate it. If you're a praying person, pray for the folks in Texas. Pray for the folks that have to investigate this situation and have to see these.
Oh my God, Stephen.
These kids. And this guy also killed his grandmother. Oh my God. Have mercy on that kid. I mean, look, if you're 18 years old, I don't give a fuck what this nation says. You're still a kid, especially in this country. So there you go. Much love to everybody.
Guys, thank you for the stream. Thanks for bringing these songs to us. I'm glad we were able to come through and get it done tonight. We had to move a couple things around to make it happen, and we did. So shout out to all of us. Shout out to you guys. And we'll be back with you guys again tomorrow with another big stream with the big homie Dusted. I think that having you guys helps a lot with finding out information like this, because we're connected to more people, and just you guys coming through and coming to the stream, I don't know, just meant a lot. We still haven't shot the commercial for this channel. Well, it keeps inching up the amount of viewers. Glad people are finding us.
Amy, hit me up later. I'll explain that to you, and then we'll figure something out. As Kellendra says, good night. Don't forget to love each other, and I knew I could depend on you, Stephen, to send prayers out for those people. All right, well, I'm going to pray, guys, and then we'll be out of here. Jesus, thank you so much for everybody here. Thank you for BC. God, I pray you protect him and keep him upright. God, I pray for the families of everybody, all the kids who died today, and I pray that you have mercy on the shooter. And I pray that you would give our country peace and get us to love each other and stop hating each other and to see the value of human life. And I pray for those parents, God, that are getting some really bad news. Thank you for our community. If I could selfishly ask you to give some special protection to all my friends, that would be great. And help us not to hate each other in Jesus' name. All right. I love you guys. Stay safe. Take care of each other. And unfortunately, I don't want you to be paranoid, but be fucking diligent out there, guys. Know your surroundings. Yeah. There you go. I love you all. Then out.
Sorry, out.
Gone.